So today on the truck, you can see I did a little fill, just kind of threw some fill on there. Obviously the better you do it, the less you have to sand, but I'm going to be sanding that all down. Anyway, you can see that this is the front part of this, of the bracket or the mount that I'm going to be using to mount to the running board. This part is for the inner part of this fender that is not attached to that. I had to do repair through here. I welded all this up. If you remember, there was a gap here. I took a piece of 1/8 inch round bar stock and I put it in there. I welded it on each side all the way through, and then I welded on the back side and I ground the bar down. That gave me my curve or my corner. What I've done here, this is the inside. And like I had mentioned before, I was going to have to put some patches in. Well, I made the patch all the way up to here to replace this whole end. You can kind of see that here. It's all been replaced. I had to put the side on. I put this, this all on here. Same with, I did some of this here. So now I'm just going to sand that, get that ready just to prime it. The other thing I did a while ago is I prepped this air section. This is what bolts to the fender, the other half of the fender. There was a lot of rust in there, so I cleaned that, put some rust inhibitor stuff on there, a converter. Now I'm going to sand and I'm going to prime that. I did the same with this fender, which is the passenger side fender. I just did that too. As you can see up in here, I did it all the way along to get rid of all that rust. Although I'm not working on this side yet, I just thought it'd be a good idea to spray this the same time as I sprayed the other stuff, because I'm gonna just mix up some sealer and hit those edges. And so that way I can put the fenders together. I just thought it'd be a good idea to get the other side done too. And then I gotta sand some stuff and we'll see where I go from there. So like I said, I had that all apart, and so then I primer sealed this stuff with DP90. This is the skirt, running board, and then the fender. I went over the little bit on that fill there. Went over the repair that I did here underneath. So now is what I have to do is I'm going to bolt these two together. I did the edge in here. I sanded that from the rust converter that I had, and on both sides, and then I sealed that too. So now I'm going to bolt that all together. And after that, I'm going to try a new primer, and I'll show you that when I get there. Continuing on the panels, after I sealed them, I put them in a high build primer. I tried a different primer this time, although I'm still staying with PPG product. You can see here's the fender. That's probably dimpling from the metal, but not the primer necessarily. As you can tell, over here, these panels here are like really smooth, fairly smooth, I should say. They all need to be blocked and stuff, but and fill work still needs to be done. And then there's the fender. Got some work needed on that. The primer that I'm using this time is called the Vibrance collection of PPG VP 2050, and that goes 2-to-1 with VH7050 catalyst. And this is A little bit different product than what I'm used to using. However, it's similar enough to the K36 that I've used. This is like real heavy compared to what this is, like a syrup almost. But anyway, regardless, that is a good high-end primer, along with the K36 is too. But I thought I would try this and see how I liked it. And I think it sprays on fine. We'll find out on how it sands. Again, now I can start actual body work on this if I wanted to. That's why you see so many imperfections in the metal. I do that on purpose. So I actually put a sealer down, DP90, as I shown earlier, and then I put this on. I do body work on this. So I'll do body work, sand and everything, and then I'll reshoot in this type of primer again. So that's why it doesn't look, all the body isn't perfect yet. It will become perfect or as perfect as I can get it as we go. So that's where I'm at. Now it's the next day, parts are dry enough. I'm going to put them all together and see what this thing looks like and see how easy this thing fits together. So I put all the panels on. With the way I have it set up, it doesn't take me very long. Like I say, everything just kind of bolts where it's supposed to bolt. I had a little issue with some paint in some of the threads, but that's to be expected. But just to give you kind of a little idea on what this is going to look like, see there's still a good gap here. Like I said, I haven't put the plate in here yet to bolt to that. There's going to be an 1/8 inch gap anyway for whatever material that I put on here. And it's the same with the back. The back has a gap too. And like I said, I don't have the plate in here to bolt to that and the gasket. So, but everything else is fitting pretty good. I just kind of wanted to show, after putting all those pieces on, it's kind of starting to look a little bit better that way, just to kind of give you a visual. I will be getting some of these doors blasted and stuff, strip the rest of the way, and then I'll prime those to match, and then the cab will get primed too. But right now I'm not going to worry too much about that. What I'm going to do is I got some final things to do on this side, and then I will be switching to the next side. And for example, what I mean is this here, I have to weld that, grind it. So that's all good. That's that plate. That'll attach this to this, and finish bolting these all together in here. I have this bolted together. Normally it's riveted. You can kind of see there's the bolts. There'll be a bunch more in there. And I gotta make this thing here yet. Other than that, it should be good to go to turn around and work on the other side. Okay, I couldn't end the video without at least having the rear tire on it, just to give you a feel for what that's going to look like. There's the rear tire. Got plenty of room here to come up quite a ways, although it can only go up like 3 inches. That's how I measured how far in this had to be. This had to be able to move up 3 inches and not hit that fender. But that's how I think that's out perfect. Pretty darn, yeah, I like that. I like it just a hair, but not too far. So that's it. And there you go. One step closer.